Okay, map 2 is now in front of us, Fearless. This has to be kind of turn-up time, I feel, for Galaxy Racer. They got ran over, they didn't find an answer, and I'm so glad Miss Harvey pointed out that mid problem they were having. And Joy, I'm sure if they had more time, they could have thrown in Zaz constantly a nuisance, and no one finding the answer for it, no one winning their duels in the way they should be, or even dealing with it in the way they should be. And I feel that Nuke could potentially personify this issue, Fearless. How do you feel coming into map 2?
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Of course, we already knew that XSET had such a good performance. That was against Arcane Wave. That was a 16-2. Keep that in mind. We knew from last Showdown, Arcane Wave, probably not the best team around, but they are able at least to still pull up a little bit of a fight, but it was just nowhere. XSET kept in control, made sure no one got onto a bomb site. Their T side even was phenomenal with 12 rounds. Like, if you can do that on T side Nuke, oh man, this is about to get real spicy up in here. But let's see if maybe Galaxy Racer can turn this around and get into the game. They are starting off on that CT side, so maybe that will give them a little bit of a head start.
Maybe, or you lose confidence and you get run over. For now, we're seeing a kind of, not fake vent dive, but it's a ramp presence. Zaz is just flying through this. They've taken ramp control. They've forced away the player. Vilga can be late to the day, but Kelly V, nice little shot to start with, but it's about staying alive, and she's done more than that here. That is sick work from Kelly V. 2 big kills, at least keeps this looking good. Now we have to see if that lurk comes in. I think it's Giuliano who might be disconnected from the others. No, excuse me, it's not. So I want to see how this then plays out. Crassy's just taking flights back towards ramp. The confidence is overflowing for the T's right now.
So far, so good. It's 3 against 3 right now, and things have slowed down a little bit. And I like that, you know, not XSET going overly aggressive, just trying to keep track of where the Galaxy Racer players are. It's maybe now clearing the back towards B, making sure no one's coming maybe perhaps from secret or outside. Everyone is kind of spread out a little bit, but they have so much control. The bomb is now about to go down. And now this leaves us with Galaxy Racer trying to get back into that lower bomb side. Cressy still has a nade left, and there's even a flash onto Mimi. So perhaps that could become of great use, but not if Claudia says hello. That's the USP headshot coming right in. And of course, this is now the time for Galaxy Racer to pop in, to get that speed going. But, oh man, Giuliano with 2! And even a knife kill for Cressy. That is one hell of a dirty start. You can already see them laughing. Oh man, the disrespect is real.
Thought the retake was looking good. Galaxy Racer stayed composed. They didn't kind of fall into the trap of playing too early. You could see Mimi lurking around vent, seeing if she could catch a rotation, but man, Cressy has come to play today. We didn't really see that before in the previous game for XSET. It was the others, the more, classic members that you know. And here's the buy back in. 2 scouts, but then you can see the pace from the T side. They're not messing around here. They want to go quite quick, at least to get some of that vent control, see if they can punish a rotation out of place or catch someone trying to respond to that vent dive coming in.
Yeah, once again, Galaxy Racer bought up. We have to wait and see if this time around it will pay off, but so far the tags are there against them. It's Anna down to 17 HP, but now Giuliano and Petra also kind of low. Anna finally landing the shot onto Petra, so it is evening things out here. And once again, as soon as those early kills start to fall, things slow down, and XSET is taking a little bit of a breather, playing with the Galaxy Racer's positioning. How are they going to be answering to, for example, that outside aggression we just had? But in fact, XSET now making its way towards ramp, and Anna luckily landing yet another shot, not the second one, and now they need to back off. A little bit of blocking happening, but they are able to escape. Oh man, and this is dirty. Voga is already coming in from behind potentially, but luckily there is a smoke to deal with that one. Who will find the one first? It's Vilga landing the shot, Kelly V as well, and this might actually be a good round. If not, Cressy with still 26 HP left is also still landing the shots.
Yeah, but look, it's going to take so little for these pistols to find damage. If Vilga plays this just right, and it looks like she is, that's enough of information. She's seen at least one. Sight now dealt with. Last noted, great work on the pistols. AKs galore. They should be able to find the guns now as well. You can see them cycling that through. Perfect play with the scouts coming out. Anna's positioning on ramp then was good. I was hoping she'd get that second tag as she faded away, but the first was more than enough. Then finding Zaz as well, who is a slightly better off HP player, just posed such a bigger problem then for XSET to try and find a way forward. Very well done. That is exactly how you want to play those scouts and deagles in combination. That was Giuliano trying to play the smoke, but no. And Vilga getting just that information on that shoulder being shown for just a second. And that's going to put the money down to a slightly lower spot. No one really wants to go on a hefty investment here, so maybe some Tech 9s, maybe a deagle if they can afford it. But it should be a light purchase. And again, Galaxy Racer, you have to keep this clean. You cannot afford to let these rounds get away from you.
No, I mean, you've won the last one. You need to keep this one in the bank. And Anna landing the USP shots. All right. Doesn't matter that the scout is not in their hands as well. And that's a clean round, just as you wanted. It's 2-1 now. And I like that there was only one casualty. She can now probably upgrade because there's plenty of money in the bank left on her fellow teammates. But the buy will potentially be a little bit better on the exit side. Of course, there's now AKs in the bank. No op just yet. We will have to wait a little bit longer for that one to come out.
But I like seeing Anna getting early frags, being kind of confident about it. That could bode well for the player. I don't know her well enough yet to know if she responds to this early sort of play, but sick flash from Giuliano, controlling this red aggression coming out by that crate towards outer. Very well done, but the trade from 23 is good enough, but this is now going to open up that upper sight take. I want to see good utility from the likes of Claudia. That one-way smoke that I was hoping we'd see just a couple of days ago, she definitely still has the potential to put into place up in heaven. You can see the bomb being toyed with. They're considering putting that down. Nice Molotov to deny Kelly V any quick play towards lobby. We'll see how they try and pose this retake coming in. These post plants could get tricky for the T's.
Yeah, there's still some utility left for Galaxy Racer to use. Of course, there was smoke just now. There's a Molotov as well to be used. So things might get heated real soon, but so far things are traded evenly, and eventually it lands in the favor here of XSET. Eventually Kelly cannot land the shot there as well, so things are tied up once again, and that's exactly the round that XSET needed, because if not, man, the economy would have been looking rough, and now a second round on T side, it's looking good.
Look, shout out to Claudia for using that one-way smoke. It actually worked out. That's the money right there. I love that. And it's small things like that. It got you a kill and a step back in the site. But again, you still have to come up against the giants of the scene, which is Zaz, Giuliano, Mimi, the Petra. These players have been around for a lifetime at this point. They are always going to be so sharp on these sort of post plants. Their gun skill is sick. Like, if you don't need to be told, if you're not an absolute dipshit, how good they are. So you don't get these for free. Now, we do see, again, the scout and the pistol, but this is far less invested around. So this would be a much harder round to win. But you can see the T's somewhat respecting this. They've stopped this mad aggression. They're not just taking massive map control. You've got to be careful around Squeak there, Petra. That could have been a problem. But Vilga already finding Giuliano is good enough. That AK is not within reach, though.
Ooh, and eventually we will all head towards ramp once again. This time, Anna cannot answer because simply only a pistol will not be enough to deal with this big bunch of AKs. And I like this positioning. Not everyone solo together. But Mimi, though, will be met with the pistol of Claudia. And things are still actually looking good on the board for Galaxy Racer. Still 4 people alive for them. But the bomb is now planted. And retaking this might not be the easiest task. Of course, 23 low and just a deagle. And there's no kit in hand as well. No armor on them. So it usually would just take a few bullets to deal with them. But yet another kill landing in favor of Galaxy Racer. And now Zaz needs to hurry up. Finds the 2. And oh wow. Eventually the shots do land. But it was a very close one nonetheless.
I like the attempt at the end from Galaxy Racer. You don't normally win those pound-for-pound fights up against the rifles like that, but a good attempt nonetheless. again, if they only had a kit, you could have seen maybe something a little different. But you have the big dogs there. You had Petra, you had Zaz ready to go. They're not going to let that slip. Very controlled in the end. Mimi's lurk didn't quite come through as I imagined she would want. And look at the lack of utility for the CTs here. This could pose a problem down the line if maybe XSET wants to run something quick. The lack of those Molotovs will definitely be a nuisance. No one in secret either. Now, this smoke wall is a little deeper, but I don't know if anyone can be seen crossing. Giuliano gets to clear quite nicely. No one can confirm that they haven't gone down secret. That's the bigger problem. But it looks like they're just trying to take the control. Vilga, though, oh, the flash is good, but have they checked on her? It doesn't look like they have. They need to clear the close corner, and they don't. Vilga now given a huge opportunity. Takes it with both hands. Good swing from Claudia. Lovely combination, not allowing the trade frag to come in on Vilga. And now a 5v2. They should just dig their heels in here. They don't need to go for many fights.
Zaz able to get one. Cressy, not a second, but man, this was a really good round for Galaxy Race. I like the positioning of Vilga. Of course, we do occasionally have one in garage, usually the R player. This time around wasn't, so maybe they were thinking, okay, potentially there might not be someone around in garage, maybe playing a little bit deeper behind the boxes, but it worked out in the end. The flashbang, I mean, it worked to at least entry because she was full blind, but at least check the corners to see if it's really clear, and if not, you will get punished for it. So now, 3-3, and the money is looking rough once again on the exit side. We see a big bunch of pistols alongside a Galil and 2 times a Mac-10, so they did decide to force up. And maybe it actually worked, maybe getting an opening there, and they're already fast-pacing towards B now.
This is the protocols. These are those things that you got to be able to do. Get those mollies, get everything going for you over towards ramp. You can see the damage was there from a nade, but it wasn't enough to stop them, of course. And just Kelly V gets overrun. It can happen. Tech9s can encourage this, but still a little bit more kind of presence noted towards that utility early could be a big factor going forward. But let's see if this retake finds any legs to it. Zaz is still playing on this smoke, and this could be a terrible surprise. 3 players here. They are not seeming aware, but nice work from Anna. Keeps control, stays aware of the possibility. Claudia on the swing, catching 2. Good information to be found, and the CT side is holding on. A little bit of a threat, a little bit of a problem, but it's dealt with in the end, and the defuse should come in. 23's got a kit. No problem. They're a little tight on the end, but yeah, 4 players standing, rifle staying up, AKs being kept as well. 23 with 1, Vilga with the other. Again, you know, playing in certain positions. So, for example, the position we saw at the back of Garage in the previous round, it's actually becoming very commonplace with high-end Counter-Strike teams. If many people watch, you know, let's say the ESL Pro League, for example, that was utilized quite a bit by rifles nowadays, and AWPers potentially, just because it's harder to check, harder to clear, you're so open. And Nuke is such a played map nowadays. Even in the high-end main leagues, you're going to see this more often than not, and I'm glad to see the female scene keeping in sort of check with that. Again, this is something that if you watch those main leagues, you will become more and more accustomed to. However, right now we are seeing those deagles out to play, and at the moment, you're seeing them kept at range. No threats being found. Utilizing Kelly V, keeping the kind of scoped weapon as well, is going to be making it a little bit easier. Some of those sweaty angles will work out well. Vilga going to be charged with keeping control, and I like the switch up. Playing from secret this time. Versatility is a really nice way forward.
That's the head of Giuliano popping out. Mimi now as well. And Vilga is just cleaning out the squad. I'd like to highlight Anna there. Got that first opening pick as soon as Squeaky Door opened. And eventually she repositioned outside. Now, this time around, she didn't really pick up another frag. But I like, you know, that she was at least trying to play around with the up, not stick to one position, and make sure it wasn't lost against the pistols. Even though there was no use for it right now, I like the potential that could be there for the next couple of rounds. And now this time she was trying to peek it again. Oh, and at the same time, XSET taking full-on lobby control. 3 people taking damage early on and falling now. That's not the way you want to start this round off.
No, it might be, Anna needs to be very careful. You want to keep this off and you're about to lose it in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, bye-bye. Little unnecessary, and Vilga might be on a recovery mission. Actually just takes the fight and dies for it. I don't mind CT-sided aggression. I think it's perfectly fine. I think well-executed aggression would be better, but we also have been seeing you know, the when to implement it. And I feel XSET have been very aggressive so far. Those ramp takes have been quite spicy. They're not subtle with their outside takes. I don't know if you need that much CT side aggression. They're very clear on their intentions. But Galaxy Racer gave it a try. It didn't work. But they can afford a repurchase to the full extent here, so not too many problems. I think there's still a Galil out. Yeah, Mimi not quite in the best place here, but could have afforded the AK, I believe. But opting for this for now.
And you can already see that the XSET is once again looking to go towards lobby. And they already have gotten it for free. There's not really anyone peeking or really contesting it so far. Everyone's sitting tight on the Galaxy Racer side. This time I like the change up here on A. Usually we had that AWP from Anna coming in towards a main. But now just the rifle sitting close and holding hot. But right now, XSET not really changing up the pace just yet. In fact, they are heading outside somewhere they're currently not situated. So they pretty much get it for free. Kelly is though in secret, but there's a Molly in the way as well. So she will not be able to get that control going, to re-peek it, and to make anything happen for the team. So far, XSET team in control.
This is a weird re-peek from Kelly V. I don't think that was ever going to be favorable. Kind of opens up a problem now. B's pretty much available. You can see how heftily lean they were towards the other side of the map. Now, good information for Anna, a very bold play to do this, and you can see the problems now potentially occurring. It seems that Vilg is aware of the potential for this. 23's in trouble. Good little fadeaway on Zaz, but can't capitalize on towards Mimi. You can see the crunch coming in. Anna's going to be forced to fight and wins it. That's nuts. Doing that with the AWP and the rifle. Good work from Vilga, keeping check, making sure no one was going to make that play. And even losing outside control, maintaining the extremities to the site was very, very important. Good hold of that upper crunch.
Yes, exactly. It was a little bit unfortunate there that the shots were not simply landing. Of course, the ladders, we know CSGO, they don't work in your favor at all. So trying to spray while you're still stuck on it might not be very ideal, but eventually XSET now still have money in the bank to buy one more time. It's only Petra with the Deagle this time around, but it's not too shabby. Galaxy Racer though, they are able to full buy, still have those 2 AKs in hand, so it's looking good for them. And of course they are in the lead, and they need to make sure that they widen the gap a little bit to have a little bit of an extra buffer going into that second half.
Oh, that's an awkward battle, but Vilga wins it. Vilga's been doing some really imperative damage. And now Juliana was kind of, not necessarily a lurk, but she was kind of the final piece of the puzzle. This is still a top site hit. 23 gets overrun. Claudia's in a tricky spot here. Still has that smoke for the one-way if needed. Looks like she might be considering it. And bear in mind that Molotov is going to keep her from being able to peek this. There is the one-way. Anna's fluffed it, I think. That might be a bit awkward. Yeah, Claudia's like, hold on, I might have to redo this one. But there's still a chance for the play to come back in. Yeah, there it is in place from Claudia. So there will be a little bit of room. You can see all eyes are trained on this. I'm willing to see where the next piece of the hit comes from, though. They need a bit more than just 2 from heaven. This is going to be hard to make count, and they're just going to fly in backwards. Claudia offering herself up there. And yeah, this is just a blender. Do not love that. Save the AWP. Try and get out of there. They've seen this, so they might just hunt it down. Even if the T's money isn't ideal, getting that out of the CT's hands is always so important.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. Of course, the 2 smokes that landed there in heaven, that gives away a little bit of information at least. So that's already one read that was coming in, and then going in one by one, flying out through the smoke. Of course, you're going to be blind. The T's will have the favor there. Not the way to end the round. And of course, now XSET is creeping in a little bit closer. You can now see the tactical timeout is there for Galaxy Racer because things haven't always been so cleanly, and they want to make sure that the CT side is going cleanly. So they need to get back to the drawing board and make sure to actually win those rounds.
Yeah, I think a discussion of kind of characterizing how to read into this, that upper site is now proving to be a bit of a problem to hold consistently, it feels like. They've dealt with their kind of outer take. Credit to Vilga for being the kind of captain of that ship. But it is, and Ramp, I'd say, is also somewhat under control. Anna's been doing well, but that top site needs a little bit of help here, it feels. They've been just kind of running these executions. Nothing too crazy either. Quite nicely constructed, but, you know, nothing too wild. And of course, this round is not going to be too much. So they could be taking this one pretty much to continue that conversation as to how they want to approach this. you're going to see somewhat of a default coming out from XSET as well. If you're up against what's probably going to be pistols in that AWP, if you can find the AWP, perfect. And it might be Juliana who gets the chance at that. Not seeing it yet. Over by credit card. Kelly V looking towards Silo, but doesn't see Giuliano. Now the timing, Giuliano might have just seen a shoulder there.
Oh, I like this. They're really very careful with the op there that could potentially be outside. Eventually, Kelly V does land that shot, but that also does reveal her positioning. And now XSET needs to answer. We see 3 people here in lobby, and the bomb will be picked up as well. So they might look to go either towards lower fast or still stick towards A main. But question is, how will they deal with these pistols? Because we've seen them hit them shots before. So how are they going to be doing this? There's at least a smoke going to be deployed, a flash to burst out of. And now they're going to be overwhelming Galaxy Racer here onto the side. Kelly V cannot do a single thing now that the Molotov is there. Of course, they have no util to respond with that. Ooh, and Cressy being caught off guard there, having not the gun out. And it does still leave us with a 2v2.
I'm liking them making this incredibly difficult, but it should be dealt with. Look at these positions. Mimi's position is very hard to clear with that P250. Filga knows that. Maybe a Deagle could have done better with it, but still cognizant that Zaz could be close by. And Zaz is just playing security in this one, sitting in towards Hut there, making sure no one got past. And Mimi controlling the range. Again, I feel like Mimi is a really safe pair of hands in this. Her mid-play in the last map was imperative. And now just closing this out was very good. But a nice little read from Galaxy Racer. I like their kind of stack up towards Hut. Didn't work out well in the end, but it was a decent idea, and they did some decent damage too. Now, going back into this one, this is where we should see potentially an answer to the bigger problems they've been having, but not going to be easy. You can see their utility is lacking, the weaponry is lacking. It's going to be tough to make this stick.
Yeah, already on the exit side, of course, there's also not the most amount of utility. Already a lot of smokes being used. And in fact, now the, once again, fast push by XSET, and this time around, it's not going to be working. Of course, they still remain to have those 2 players on the site. And this time, they hold it effortlessly. 5 players all alive, not a single player taking damage. So this time around, XSET have failed their plan. You know, the fast pace towards A. You can do it once, you can do it twice, but having to repeat the same thing over and over again, now they're going to be ready for it.
That was a really nice adjustment from 23 there. She sat in like a new position, kind of playing above on the rafters, watching that hut push. And to be fair, it worked really well. I'm not sure if she was anti-flash beforehand, but she caught none of the utility thrown through. So she was in the perfect spot. Instantly, Claudia turned around as well, making sure she was there, ready for the push out. There was no split really coming in through Squeaky, it looked like. But maybe they already had eyes towards it from, maybe someone like Vilga earlier on in the round. You can see all the kind of spam that came through. So it's certainly being made aware of. Petra wants to keep this AWP in play, but shout out to 23 for the adjustment. This is what I was looking for. What does Galaxy Racer do to deal with that top hit? Because it's working so well for XSET for so many rounds, and that looked like the adjustment, so very well done there. Now, Claudia, willing to put life on the line to get rid of this AWP, but Petra's position's pretty tricky to clear, and I don't know how far they will actually be willing to kind of continue this hunt. For now, it looks like they'll be kind of keeping as is. Petra will hear the steps in towards lobby there, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But there's 23. Very well played this round. Good adjustment. There could be a change-up. There could be a molly sent towards that. There could be flashes tailor-made for it. Or simply, we see XSET run something different. Their money's in a weird spot. I think a couple of them are a little lower than they'd like. And there it is again. So came out of the flash just at the right time. It looked like there was a flash set into motion. She didn't catch it, so maybe tucking herself in, just turning away. But here's that economy damage coming into effect. And it looks like a very late buy. So yeah, this was a late round call coming in. Clearly, they weren't sure what they wanted to do with this, but they purchased around these 2 rifles and the AWP.
I like what Cressy is doing, though. She bought a Deagle and a big bunch of utility, as, of course, Galaxy Racer have been making it very difficult for them. So to have at least another smoke and a Molotov in hand to, if the bomb goes down, to deal with after plan, that would be nice. It has worked out on Vertigo for XSET. But right now, Galaxy Race is definitely making it more competitive than the last map. Now, of course, a little bit of utility flying for XSET. But they're trying to change the
With the
pace.
molly.
And Anna, you can see a little bit of the panic that was happening there. Of course, she heard the footsteps. She was about to be faced with a lot of shots. But just right in time, she was being caught with the Molotov in hand, and now it landed right beneath her feet. Of course, she needed to fall back, so Galaxy Racer need to reposition, but they are given the time to do exactly so. As XSET slows down, and Vilga, in the meantime, of course, if you're not going to be fast enough, she will be coming in right from behind. Well, she has done so a few times on this. This really sucks, of course. Your belt sticking out, that's not what you want to see, but the answer is there by Claudia. 2 kills for her, and that leaves Petra suddenly as the last player alive. There's 20 seconds, and yes, she did land one more, but it's not going to be enough. There were simply too many casualties there, and Galaxy Racer is looking better now.
Again, great adaptation towards that top side. They're finally working out this hold. To be fair, this one, just straight up Claudia, that second shot on Mimi's got to feel good. The adjustment was just right, managed to fade away as well. Double AWPs now coming out as well. Anna and Kelly V on these, who are trying to lock this one down, maybe just kind of posting one towards the outside. Anna actually going to play towards Sweep this time. Could be a really good read considering those Tech 9s have been vent dives. Ooh, 23, careful now. There's that pressure, there's that top hit, there's that burst potential, and there's the shutdown. Claudia, Vilga, that's Claudia coming online. That is the Claudia you need to be seeing. The pack-a-punch player who can be absolutely nuts. Very, very strong resurgence from Galaxy Racer towards the end there. It took a while to get to it, but they found the answer, and that was missing on Vertigo. 9-6 on the half. We'll be back after the break.
Sometimes it feels you can't go on. Don't let them win. Just reach down. You'll turn around. All these roads we take helps us find a way, even if we learn the hard way. We get through it all. It's okay to fall. We are standing tall. They can try, but they won't succeed. They know we won't fall so easily. We own the world, and the world will see. They're never gonna knock us down. Cause we are brave, we are strong, no way to lose. We can't go wrong. Just trust yourself and reach down. You'll turn around. All these roads we take helps us find a way, even if we learn the hard way. We get through it all. It's okay to fall. We are standing tall. They can try, but they won't succeed. They know we won't fall so easily. We own
Welcome back. We actually have a bit of a game on our hands. Suddenly, Galaxy Racer were able to hit those adaptations that were missing from Vertigo Fearless. It looks much better now, but new side, new half could be still a bit of an issue to deal with.
And I see 3 decoys, in fact, in hand for Galaxy Racer. I've seen multiple strats coming in with those, but let's see how they will be taking care of it. On the exit side, only 1 smoke. Actually, was almost Petra there, having that one in hand and trying to deploy it, being caught off guard. But now Zaz finding 2 shots and only 1 in return. So there is an advantage, but there will also be event diving. Gladia is now already up here, taking care of the backside there at B. And even if someone will be coming outside, they have so much control, actually. Vilga is towards heaven. And this is looking good. Claudia finding Petra there and making things even now.
That was so sick from Claudia. Finding that pick now kind of creates problems for rotations. You're going to have Crassi on a bit of an island, really. You can see Giuliano maybe considering having to support this now. So the CTs are spread so thin. Vilga starting to clear back through Squeaky. On the top side, you still have Mimi kind of playing on the bomb itself. Definitely spotted the player towards Hut. Gives herself the right eye peek towards that, but now she's in trouble. You can see the paranoia kicking in, but she's still so clear-minded to hit some stunning shots. Locks it down. Pistols, there's the kind of start and close. Zaz the 2 belters, and then Mimi coming in with 3. They were unable to trade effectively on the site, got overwhelmed, but still kept her cool. Very well played to Mimi.
Oh, yeah, and of course it all started out with this double from Zaz in this corner. Of course, no utility to clear it out because we are just on the pistol, but potentially I think there was a flash in hand and I didn't really see it used, or at least it was not effective. But maybe the next round will do. At least now Galaxy Racer, they do decide to eco this one out. No force buy, of course, there was no bomb plant in hand. But things were maybe a little bit tricky for a second there, but it is all in control when you have Petra on the ramp. 3 kills for her, the rest were for the others, and they're climbing closer and closer to even out the scoreline of Galaxy Racer.
It's getting there now, but we do have the buy coming in, and this should be more favorable to the T side, at least for now, looking at the equally, though, good utility to support this. So I want to see if Mimi and Zaz do something a little aggressive, maybe like a lobby crunch or like get involved, because they've got MP9s. You might as well do something with it. There's no point sitting back and trying to hold a deep angle. But you can see the T's trying to run that sort of more outside hit, kind of walk through the pacing of it. I don't mind that at all. Bring those rifles to the better spot. Petra, don't think there's a gap in that smoke. You can see her desperately trying to spot it. And don't think it's there, but spamming away nonetheless, and Giuliano's ready and waiting.
Yeah, now a smoke on top of the Molotov, of course, making things difficult there for Galaxy Racer to continue with what their original plan was, which was to push through Secret. And they're just holding and sitting and waiting for everyone, or for anyone really to push out of that smoke. But it fades, no one there. Maybe the person backed off, and indeed she did, as now they're just returning to their more original positions. Giuliano just sitting at the smaller door there towards B site. Playing with the minds a little bit of Galaxy Racer. You can see them waiting for someone to maybe sit close angle, but no one is really going to be there. And at the same time, the time is taken away, and Galaxy Racer needs to make a move very soon.
Yeah, Giuliano's still going to get the contact. Tries to fade away a little. Nice readjustment there. Needs support now. She can get one more. I'd say job done. Yeah, great work from Giuliano, trying to keep control as long as possible. Now, again, keep in mind Claudia's trying to lurk this one out a little bit as well, but Zaz is right amongst them. Tries to bail in, but bear in mind, Zaz and Mimi still have those SMGs. Claudia, get your gun out. Thank you, Claudia. Could have been awkward, but isn't. Keeps control of the scenario, and the lurk works well. Now, Crassi is going to be encouraged to try and isolate this player who's trying to get that bomb plant, but well handled by 23. Don't mind what Crassi tried to do, trying to maybe get that timing right while they knew Claudia was over by ramp. So again, I've got to say, for me, Claudia has stepped up massively. This is a big swing up in performance. Imperative kills, very good timing. Kelly V punishing that little information fact-finding mission over by Lockers earlier on as well. So some of the players now stepping up for Galaxy Racer. Good fight back in. XSET's money is going to be stepped back now.
Yeah, just a pistol here for XSET. Barry USBs, only 1 deagle for Giuliano, who had a little bit more money in the bank, but going to be going up against the AKs. There's even Util in hand. Not as much as they would have liked because it was still relatively close around there. So for now, a lot of smoke's already used, and oh, look at that, a kill through the smoke, in fact, by Zaz. And Cressy now landing a USP headshot as well. So, I mean, there's already a great amount of damage dealt, might not still end the way they wanted to. Because Galaxy Race is now on the way towards that lower bomb site. Petra coming in with the flank though, and the bomb is still not down yet. So there might be a lot of intel here for her, and if she finds another shot and actually lands it, that might be great. And there it is. Oh, that's the bomb planter as well. Sadly not in time, but that's 2 kills done and make it free as now she picked up that AK. And that's another round for XSET. And honestly, that should not have gone their way.
No.
Just no.
No, that's not a round I want to ever watch again. How did Petra get away with this? Let's watch again. Okay. I mean, it happens. That first kill was a little unfortunate. The turn. Bear in mind, Petra had no armor there, so if any of those bullets hit, it would have been rough to recover, but they've just set that money back again for the tease. Credit to Petra for keeping cool there. Vilga's probably very frustrated with how that started, unaware that maybe someone could be on that side by the stairs, but whichever way you want to cut it down, we do have Tech 9s. We have Tech 9, should I say, P250s, and a Deagle coming out to play. So still a little bit of bite to this, but not too much. Again, for the CTs, though, look at the amount of AKs they're starting to wear. You've got the 2-3 now. Crassi, Giuliano, and Zaz. Huge pickups for them.
Looks like Galaxy Racer will be hitting that inner bomb site 23. Being met by the gun of Mimi, and now Zaz picking up 2 as well. But the pistols still do their job. But the question is, there's still 3 more people to find. We saw Petra do it, but is the PT50 enough? The answer is no. Eventually, actually, Giuliano landing the last kill with a Deagle, in fact. And now the scoreline is tied up. XSET is looking good and confident, especially after that pistol they won. And now Galaxy Racer trying to get the head back in the game.
I'd still like to ask the question of where Anna's been this game. It was a little bit better, but we haven't seen that same star performance. 54 ADR, 9 frags. Considering you know what she can do, this haven't been it so far, but there's the first. There's that step. Take down Petra, who was a beast on that first map. It was a huge influence to the swing up from XSET, but a 10-10. There needs to be more from this from Galaxy Racer. They've taken the first step, but keep in mind, their utility is very light. 3 smokes still to put into play. Little Molotov to try and clear potentially as they go up. Giuliano looking for maybe a new angle here. Yeah, has to fall away slightly. Play a little bit safer, maybe locker room or whatever she decides. But bear in mind, they've lost out of control completely.
Zaz has quite the information of what is happening outside. Of course, here's the smokes being deployed. And Giuliano now repositioned towards heaven. Of course, there's no up in hand, but she can still spot for a little bit of information. Now goes towards the lower ground, and eventually she is met with a fight, and she needs to win this because they are a man down. They need to have this kill, and that's exactly what is happening. Now Zaz with a follow-up as well, so things are even out. 40 seconds left. Oh man, that's rough.
Okay. There's still a little bit of danger here. Claudia, I want to look at Claudia in this one because you know what? She's been a danger player. They've got to know that Mimi's around here somewhere. Claudia finds a big work from Claude. Coming up clutch there. Finding Mimi is a big tick in the box. Keep in mind, Mimi pulled off that dirty little 1v3. So, I mean, keep eyes. But Crassi had the bigger performance on map 1. Hasn't come through yet here. Vilga, we potentially checking on it. Dangerous, but keeps it in check. And Galaxy Racer finds the way back in.
I like what Giuliano did there in that round, but sadly it wasn't enough to pull them through. That 3rd kill she tried to get, maybe it wasn't necessarily to peek straight into it. And eventually, you know, Galaxy Racer punished, went straight towards A, got the bomb down, and eventually took control back. And now, money is still on the lower end on the Galaxy Racer side, but of course, XSET is just trying to get started again, so also their money not on point. We see 2 times an MP9 on their side, but Petra keep keep the eyes on her because that op is back in the game. And if she can land a shot or two, man, she can keep that site on hold. But the question is, Galaxy Racer, how will they deal with this? So far, trying to go slow, not waste any of the utilities so far. So I like that because at a few rounds, they've used a lot earlier on. And now looks like the outside is where most of them are headed.
Yeah. What just happened to those T-side smokes? Juliana's going to get fed here. This is a huge fumble from the T's. They missed the smoke wall. I'm not sure what they were expecting from this, or if there was meant to be a molly there. I really don't know what they were meant to do with that, but whatever it is, it's cost them this round completely. They'd at least had a chance to cross. Kelly V is desperate to hold on to this, and now a 1v3 begins. Getting the first steps there, sure. But these are the ones that's going to kind of haunt you. These angles are so unfavorable to play into. Does she get another fight? Would Crassy allow this to happen? Hearing enough, going to be able to kind of put together another piece of the puzzle, but this corner is going to be rough to check, but she does it. That's 3, but now the HP is low. That dink might have cost her. But you can see Zaz instantly thinking better of playing into this. Oh, the consideration. Where's that bomb? There it is. Okay. Kelly V, you have to be very careful. And you can see already Mimi's position should be the clothesline, and it is, denying every step in the right direction. Kelly V, though, good attempt. And again, we're getting so close on this scoreline.
Crisp shots indeed, but not enough to pull through. Just too many casualties lost earlier on. We saw that early aggression by Mimi, getting the second as well, then landing the bomb. That was just a rough start, and Galaxy Racer have a little bit of trouble to get back into the round. But maybe a little bit of early round aggression can do the trick. This time around, of course, stuck on the pistols once again, and they're going to be flying outside from on top of Silo, taking a little bit of damage there already. 23 down low. And oh, everyone now seems to be falling. It's left on the shoulders of Kelly once again. And this time around, nothing she can do. Yep.
I love the, like, Petra's like, oh, I'm gonna back away and be, you know, careful. Giuliano's just like, I smell eco frags. I'ma go get some. Just like dives in. Excellent stuff. 12 to 11 though, the buy's coming back in this time, so hopefully we get to see a little bit more regimented approach. Didn't love seeing those weird smokes towards outer, whatever kind of hindered that. I actually don't know, didn't see enough of it to kind of tell, but it looks like this outer lane again. But look at this aggression. There should be some nades sent down. I'm not sure if someone's gonna actually push that. They do catch a bit of chip damage. Vilga left a little worse for wear, but they will hold for now.
Once again, it's gonna be trying to take outside control. Now the Molotov is there, but how will they deal with this one? Of course, already a lot of util here used outside. Actually, not a lot of control gained. They're still stuck behind the boxes, not even made it to red box. But maybe this smoke will help. At least garage will be taken care of. And now they're going to be lining up this flashbang for them to pop towards a main. And so far so good. Of course, the smoke not really helping Petra out, blocking the vision for her. And it's now all on the shoulders of Zaz and Mimi. Make it just Mimi as her two teammates fall. Mimi now needs to land one shot, and she does so. But there's still 2 more to take care of. And she does take 1 more down. But now, all on the shoulders of Giuliano. 2 people left. And the bomb is about to go down. She takes out Claudia. Pretty much a star player now on Galaxy Racer. And that leaves Anna to do the trick. And this time she does land the shot with that AK. Making things tied up once more. And at this point, I'm curious to see where this game is about to head. Because every time I think, okay, XSET is returning back into the game. Galaxy Racer find their moment to answer back.
There's a really nice little main wrap that they went on there as well. I actually quite like that from Galaxy Racer. Now, keep in mind, XSET, the problem on the CT side is if you keep, you know, winning or losing back and forth, your money is going to be in a bad spot pretty soon as well. So that's going to be something to keep in mind for XSET. Good timeout, I feel, coming in for the T side to maybe consider their options. I liked seeing that versatility on that main wrap coming in. I'm amazed that Mimi got away with 2 left eye peeks and still won that fight. I mean, more power to her. It's just very impressive. But Kelly V bailed them out again. So this is kind of the Vilga, Kelly V, Claudia show kicking in. I'd still like to see Anna up there, but we're just not really getting it through at the moment. And on the other side, of course, Zaz and Petra doing very, very well for themselves. Mimi's not having a bad game either. Giuliano, Crasty's there. They're all doing well enough. I want to see what pace happens here. It looks like a bit of a vent dive going to come through straight away. Now, keep in mind, Mimi was above on this, but maybe flashed up, unable to stop this by the time she got in position. And a lot of that early utility invested, so they're down to whatever they've got left for the tease, and it ain't that much.
They're already having so much control, actually. Galaxy Racer 23 pushing down Secret, maybe trying to do a little bit of a peekaboo from Secret towards outside. But right now, XSET is sitting tight and holding things, not over-aggressing. So I like that. Just wait for Galaxy Racer to push. And look at how far 23 has gone. She pushed all the way through Garage. Is now on the way towards Hell as well. The amount of control she's getting and no one has found her yet is absolutely nuts. But at the same time, Galaxy Racer is looking to go towards ramp, and the timing is there, but only one kill. Petra eventually found her, but Claudia lent the trade. So things are still looking good for Galaxy Racer. They have a player advantage. Oh, and Giuliano has some info here. Not being really spotted behind the silo. Can even stop the bomb plant now. And this might be rough. She picked up yet another kill, and that leaves us with a 2v2 now.
Giuliano just made this possible. It was slipping away. Mimi tries to make a terrible surprise for Vilga, but Vilga holds her own. Mimi doesn't get it done. Zaz finds the AK, spins back in, gets one. Oh, that's Zaz! That is the classic Zaz. Sharp as attack and absolutely backhands the opposition. Just that ability to tap away on that final player. Just that pixel showing. That's the power of having some of these superstars on the XSET roster. Galaxy Racer, look. They made a good attempt of this, but honestly, not checking on Giuliano, bit of an issue there, bit of a problem. Good trade back in. The trades were not bad coming out for the tees this round, but still, you gotta get rid of those star players sometimes, and we are gonna see an eco now having to be brought on by the T side.
Oh man, even Petra there wasn't checked towards ramp, so eventually, you know, the lurk from 23 could have been so big, but just one kill getting out of that when you had so much control and intel over the whole map must be a real rough one. And now, of course, going up against the pistols, not very easy. Claudia does get away with one. Potentially there's room for a little bit more, but so far everything on lockdown. There's plenty of damage dealt. Anna down to 12 HP, and it looks like this is about to be cleaned up right away. 14 to 12. And, well, you know, money for Galaxy Racer being capped low as always. And finally, you know, there's a little bit more of a buffer on the XSET side. So even if they do lose this one, they can rebuy and still get onto the match point.
This is going to be rough for Galaxy Racer as well, because they haven't been playing a terrible game. They've lost some bad rounds though. That's the thing that I have to point out. You know, 4 spies, ecos, this all adds up around. So for them, this is going to be frustrating, I'm sure, if it keeps going the way it looks. This is the big one. This is the one that's going to count here, and you can already see that CT side very much postured up to receive this. Giuliano going to have to be careful that Molly Spread doesn't catch her out. Bit of spam. I don't think they heard the tag come in, but just going through the checklist. And Petra looking ready to maybe deal with anyone trying to come through. Crossfire could be set up. 23, so cognizant that someone could be there, very aware. You can see the caution being shown by the T side. Maybe that pressure starting to mount now. They've got about 1 minute and 9 on the board. At 14 to 12, they are now starting to feel the pressure of that scoreboard kicking in, it feels.
The thing is, though, Galaxy Racer has no control of the map right now. Only now they're heading back towards lobby, but I'm just wondering, like, what happened if someone of XSET started to push lobby during that round? They might be happy that they didn't, but if not, they might have been punished real bad. Galaxy Racer now going towards ramp. Cressy not finding the shot, having to back off, and she does exactly that. Just playing with the time here a little bit, of course. 30 seconds left on the clock and just waiting for her teammates to arrive. So that's exactly what is happening, but there is going to be a little bit of a change of plan, and especially now with 2 kills coming in from Galaxy Racer. All the people are falling down, and yeah, just Cressy now. Just, I would say, just save that M4. Or actually, in fact, there is enough money to maybe work around it. But if she maybe keeps this one, there potentially could be an op in the hands of Petra the next round. And I think that might be a little bit more favorable if you were to compare, like maybe doing a little bit of damage towards Galaxy Racer. Oh, well, she gets a freebie as soon as Kelly V goes on the hunt. Surprised actually, because the money is not looking good for Galaxy Racer. There's not going to be any loss bonus now with them winning a round. So 2 people falling, not ideal.
They should be able to drop guns out. 2 going down isn't too bad. 3 would have been a bigger problem. I do want to keep an eye on XSET's money if possible as well, because I think they're the ones who are going to have to start getting into that awkward spot sooner rather than later. But again, I have to say, Claudia, I'm loving what she is doing here. Seeing Claudia come online is a really big indicator. And yeah, the money, much worse. So honestly, I don't mind them chasing, because even if they just get a Mac 10, they can farm money. Now, there is a little bit of armor on this, so it won't be as easy as expected. And Vilga going to go for a vent dive here. Zaz trying to spam away, but not going to find the target.
Yeah, XSET just trying to keep the reserves now for the next round. So I like what they're doing, not necessarily over-aggressing, keeping Galaxy Racer down. They have the confidence that even if they land on a tight scoreline once again, they will take the round right after that and get back into the game. And we've seen the pistol kills go the way of XSET before, but now 23, crisp and clean as ever. Oh, but this is not what you want to be seeing. The trigger discipline from Juliana was there just in case there was potentially someone else in lobby, but just one for her to find. So good stuff from them. There's now 2 rifles in hand, and the only sad thing is if Mimi would have landed a shot there, maybe things would have been more possible. But now the bomb down, there's still maybe a little bit of util left. This might be real rough. Vilga even landing the kill there. Oh, man. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't Vilga. It was an assist. It looked like it was Vilga for a second. But we are now tied
Mimi?
up once again.
Did Mimi just miss by?
Can
we check the CTs real quick?
Yeah, maybe there's a gun on the ground, but... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay. There's an M4.
Don't fall for it.
Okay.
If you're trying to be careful
good.
about your economy, maybe be careful what you're buying. Mimi just ready to go full, you know, the doc disrespect out here, just straight up. And that's going to cause issues, you know, down the line. As I said, utility is extraordinarily light. Already a vent dive going to be found because of this. It's very hard to deny it if you don't have, you know, potentially nades, mollies, everything to throw into Squeaky. 23 going through her checklist of trying to deal with Giuliano. This time the spread will cause Giuliano to have to leave. Oh dear, poor choices being made. This should be a huge opener. Keep in mind, Giuliano is keeping that outer side safe. Now Petra's attention has to turn. So much of the attention now turns away from that upper site, and Claudia's getting ready to go. Molly towards that CT vent. Everyone's there, but Zaz could stop this.
Yeah, Mimi is on the site as well, but sadly Zaz is falling and Mimi cannot transfer onto the second player, so all on the shoulders of Cressy, and this is now Galaxy Racer suddenly being on map point, and they can turn this around. They could steal away this map here from XSET.
I don't know what XSET's money is going to be like. Again, I think it's going to be a little bit on the lower end, if I'm honest. Considering that purchase that came out last round, that might come back to haunt them, and it has. Look at this. Deagles to hold on. SMGs, Scouts. Galaxy Racer just have to play the normal game of Counter-Strike. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. If they go through the motions, they should be in the perfect place to close this out. Or it's OT. One very favorable option, and the other... Honestly, once you get to OT, once you get to that territory, and the money doesn't become an issue, my mind goes to XSET's experience. They can lean on it heavily. So I think Vilga will definitely know this is the best chance for them. Close it out now. Deny that OT. Keep this game going their way.
Oh, you can see Galaxy Racer not making any fast plays, just waiting and seeing... Can they maybe bait out some utility of XSET, because they know they're working with scraps here. They have just a few flashbangs and 1 smoke in hand, so not very ideal. And Galaxy Racer just waiting, pretty much. Just making sure that whatever they will be doing will be clean, They have still some smoke left and flashbangs to execute and go towards the side. But, oh, there's a good tag there by Cressy, landing yet another one. And the scout might be enough, but eventually the AKs will clean every single player there towards ramp fully up, leaving it all onto Zaz. And 1 versus 4 with an SMG. This might be looking real rough here. Of course, she knows Claudia is up there, but she needs to at least do something towards the side if she still wants to win this round. But there's a smoke in front of her face. There's no util, or actually one flashbang, but pretty much nothing really for her to work with. Oh, good read there on the positioning there of Vilga. She does catch her out, but eventually there's just too much pressure from Galaxy Racer, and that means it's now tied up as we look towards the maps here, 1-1.
Winning on each other's maps as well. This is Galaxy Racer back in this series. We have Train coming up in a moment's time. And you know what? I'm going to go to the break early because I want to hear more from the desk. I want them to deep dive all of this. Talk us through it because Claudia just had a great game. So Vilga come online. We'll be back after the break.
After getting destroyed on their own map pick, Galaxy Racer do it on the map pick of XSET. They take the map and therefore tie the series of this upper bracket finals a 1-1. And I couldn't be more excited because I've been told that XSET always wins and they're probably going to win the tournament. And then here they are. Galaxy Racer, they do it and they force out a Train. I'm here with Potter, Miss Harvey. Miss Harvey, what did you make of this map?
It was a map that at some point thought was going to look a little bit similar as what happened on Vertigo. It was getting away of Galaxy Racer, but then all of a sudden, we saw crazy important individual rounds that made a huge difference. Let's look at the scoreboard here. Look at these stats. You know, they're all over the place, but one thing is to know is that they're pretty similar for both teams. There were people like Zaz, Petra, sometimes Mimi, making a difference. And on the Galaxy Racer side, Claudia, Vilga, Kylie really showed up.
They really did.
I didn't want to interrupt you again. I feel like I've been interrupting you a lot, Sheever, so I was like, oh, do I talk?
It's fine, it's fine. If anybody's allowed to interrupt me, it's both of you, so go for it.
Yeah, so I mean, we need to highlight the T side coming through for Galaxy Racer because it was spectacular, and it's all Kelly V. I mean, Kelly V had a phenomenal T side. When the first half ended, she was only on 8 kills. She was riding close to the bottom, and she did not have a good CT side, but the entries, the multi-kills, the map control, and the spacing that she provided for this squad, it was amazing. And as soon as Kelly V started heating up, that's when Galaxy Racer started putting rounds on the board. So she was instrumental in that half.
And we talked in the first map that maybe Galaxy Racers, a little bit of the nerves, a little bit of the jitters seem to be ironed out here in Nuke. And I'm very curious to hear from you guys going into this third map. What can we expect? Like, are we now expecting two teams on even footing? Do you feel like someone still has the upper hand? And if so, which of the teams?
I feel that, you know, the veterans stepped up on Nuke for both teams. We need the younger players to kind of show up. Like, Anna has been really quiet. And the same goes for XSET side. It's been like all Zaz and Petra, you know, throughout these last maps. So we will need the youngings to be a little more present because right now our anchors are doing a lot of work, especially on Nuke, you saw like Inner.
Yeah, and that's such a good point, especially Train being XSET's home turf. This is their comfort zone, man. They always lean on Train, especially when it comes to these grand final kind of scenarios for them. So Galaxy Racer, they've got to step up. Anna, this should be her playground. It's Train. That AWP should be doing work for her. So definitely, this is Galaxy Racer's chance, but it's going to be a huge challenge.
Well, one could say something for momentum. I mean, especially that second half just now looked really solid for Galaxy Racer, and perhaps they can keep it up. Would you guys? I'm gonna give you one chance only, to change your prediction if you want.
I can't. I have to go with it. So I'm gonna stay with XSET. But like Christine said, I think it's all, fortunately, all in the end of Anna. A lot of pressure on you, Anna, to show up on this map.
I'm staying strong. Galaxy, let's go.
All right, well that speaks volumes. We're sticking to our guns here. Let's see if the teams also can stick to their guns in the third map. We are heading to train.